All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for one more delicious episode of the Sexiest Men Alive podcast, which I butchered last week, by the way. I call it the Sexiest Men on Earth podcast. Derrick shook his head like this the entire time I was saying, like, oh, what an
We
idiot.
are on Earth,
That is true, and we're live.
but that's not what we're
Good,
called. Yeah.
good point. Yes, and while we're at it, if you watch our podcasts, you listen to our podcast, you watch us on YouTube, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and
Hit the
also
delete button.
since
Share,
since
share in
since
text groups.
since
Share
we're in,
this
since
in
you
your
know
text groups.
I'm in Utah, we're going to do the pyramid multi-level marketing scheme. You got to tell two friends, and then their job is to tell two friends about our podcast. You know, I wouldn't
And give them a box of soap along with it.
Yeah.
Amway.
Yeah,
Fantastic,
start
yes.
selling our merch. You have to buy our merch to then sell our
Oh,
merch.
That's right. I love it. Hey, should we have merch? By the way, anybody vote for merch?
It's
I
too
mean,
much.
if you
Too
want
much too
merch,
soon.
comment on the video that you want some merch. You know, it would be great. Why no, Derrick? Why no?
Or just merch.
By the way,
You can buy. Oh, that's where you can buy these
Cut-out
freedom
hoodies.
onesies.
Derrick, tell
Well,
me
that's not
about
just a
is this
hoodie.
a onesie?
Yeah.
It's
sure
a
is.
full like it's
There's
is
also,
it just
like,
is it
Speaking
a
of gunsies,
is it a gunsies?
Oh, I'm on a podcast with Carlos. We don't talk about my gunsies.
he's all covered up.
I'm covered up. It's your show,
He's
baby.
chilling in the cut. Man.
I love it.
Laying back with an L.
Thank you for sending me your pink cap and your little friend. That
You
was
got
really
it, baby.
nice. We get to send that around every week. Everyone gets to use it.
I like it.
Did you guys see the thumbnail that I got sent for the video last week? Did you guys look at that at all? Our buddy Brian, his son put together. Brian Feldman put a "What is Carlos wearing?" thumbnail. It was very funny. You should check that out on YouTube. Good job, man. Hey, keep sending us those thumbnails, by the way. Gentlemen, let's get into it. Unless if you guys want to talk about something else, but I wanted to ask Derrick real quick. Derrick, I heard that you had a little parlay snafu with one of your bets here.
Yeah. First of all, I'm right all the time. The only thing that happens is sometimes the game ends and things don't happen. But yeah, had a $100 bet to win $9,000, and Matt Nagy luckily called in the fourth quarter and made sure that they stopped using Justin Fields the right way, because he was at like 170 yards. I needed over 200, and I needed Allen Robinson to get one more catch. I don't know if this is backwards, but
It's very small and blue and white.
is it? Oh, no. Whatever. I had Ayuk over 24, Mooney over 39, Debo over 54, Justin Fields over 24 running, Herbert under 94 yards, Justin Fields touchdown, and then the passing and the Allen Robinson, $100 to win $9,000.
Oh.
Matt Nagy now owes me $19,000.
That's a few of them. What like app or site do you use?
That's DraftKings.
DraftKings.
I just like DraftKings, but FanDuel has the same thing.
I've heard
but
of
I
them.
like, have you? They are reasonably popular right now. So
Dude.
that's my new addiction. And when I lose my home, that will be why.
Yeah, we should have a ticker.
Is gambling literally your addiction, or?
Well, that pictures of you.
Okay. I'll get my NFTs going next.
Holy cow. Let's not even talk about NFTs. This is going to piss me off. It's ridiculous what these things are selling for out there. Carlos.
But I do have winners for you later, Nate. I have winners going into Thursday night.
Oh, let's
Nothing
talk
for Sunday.
Let's talk about it right now. What do you got?
You want to go right now?
Right now, let's talk about what you got for Thursday.
All right, buddy. So here's the deal. Vegas is begging for you to take the Jets right now because they're the same underdog as they were against Cincinnati. And you think that Indy is not as good as Cincinnati, or at least going into last week. That's what everybody thought. So it feels like they're begging. And favorites of more than a touchdown this year are something like 26-1. Thanks, Cincinnati. This year, I think this is another one that it could be a really big Indy game, but that's a good bet. But the big bet is if you get player props, take Michael Pittman over 5.5 catches. Lock it down. Just spend it all. I'll catch up with you later. We can spend your money.
Oh yeah, no, that's awesome. All right, so how do you decide when you see a line like that you really like? Are you just betting that single thing, just Michael Pittman over on 5.5 catches?
You can do that. There's same game parlays like you saw with DraftKings,
right,
so
right.
you can stack things. Like I do like it's a big number from Jonathan Taylor, but over 82.5 yards rushing. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that too.
Not a stone but I like it. And an interesting bet with plus odds is Jonathan Taylor 2+ touchdowns. You can get some positive money on that because they are going to want to run early, run often, and really pound it. I was thinking about Michael Carter with his receptions because of his role in the receiving game.
Yeah.
But it's a big number. It's like 4.5. That's pretty big for a running back. So I'm staying off of that.
Yeah, that's probably
Taylor's a stud.
That's probably fair. Yeah, no, well, he might be the best active back in the NFL right now.
Oh.
Yeah. So sad. Derrick Henry's doing things.
So bad.
Right.
I hear he's going to be doing the remake of My Left Foot.
Wow.
Huh? He's a real method actor.
Dang.
So bad.
Carlos is not amused, Wyatt.
What?
So
Oh, Carlos is here.
Oh, hey, Los. How are you, buddy?
Ravens bye week went well. No loss.
Okay.
What's the matter, Jones?
Nothing. I was just enjoying the quality betting tips from Derrick, and
I derailed it with my.
that's all.
Jones, I want to talk about your clothing again. So, 2 weeks ago, you had a blanket over you, and you were cold. And then last week, you had no clothes on at all.
And he was hot.
And then this week, you got the hoodie on again. Tell me about what's going on with your body temperature here.
It's 9 degrees outside, Nate.
It's 9?
It feels like it. I don't know. It's cold as hell.
Thin air, mile high.
Oh.
And
I played golf today. It was 70 degrees.
well, you live in the desert, Nate. The rest of us that live in civilization are experiencing winter. Okay, and being from Wakanda, as you know, this is white people weather. Okay, and so I'm covered up today.
Fair enough. Well, let's talk about these Halloween games. Some crazy stuff happened, so a little spooky, I guess.
Yeah.
But all of these underdogs won. All of these favorites lost. Let's start there. The Cardinals lost. The Browns lost. The Colts lost. The Bengals lost. The Chargers lost. The Bucks lost. The Vikings lost. All were favorites going into that deal. What happened?
Colts lost ugly too. Just
Did you see the Colts game? Carson Wentz is the worst quarterback since Jameis Winston I've ever seen. He might be the white Jameis Winston.
He wasn't dancing like Winston either. After
No, nobody has moves like that.
That guy's done.
They had a chance. They had a chance to win that game. Pittman looked amazing, by the way. Michael Pittman looked fantastic. By the way, you're welcome. You're welcome, Wyatt, for that advice.
I kept him in. He was in, and I kept him in. But yeah, thank you. I would have lost without him. And I had Wentz in because Carr was on bye and Lamar was on bye.
So, of those losers, is there anyone of those guys that lost? Anyone that was the most surprising to you guys on that list?
Well,
I'm surprised AJ Green didn't look for the ball.
What? So yeah, AJ Green almost gets hit in the back of the head with the football.
Yeah, run blocking. He was run blocking in the end zone.
The only thing, it had to be. It had to be. How do you not know it's not a run right? I mean, a run right there. That's got to be a passing down. What happened there?
Kyler Murray said missed some sort of check or something like that. They didn't get too deep into it. So, I mean, I got to believe it because that's what it looked like.
That was rough.
And it's the Packers. They're great. I mean, I think Cardinals will be fine. Colts look good. I mean, to go along with Derrick's Pittman gamble, and they'll be fine. Wentz, I think he'll bounce back. Baker Mayfield's in trouble. With all three of his weapons back and a new like backup running back, he just can't score. The Browns can't score.
He doesn't look
Sorry,
good.
Carlos.
He doesn't look
that
good.
That offense doesn't work if the running game isn't going. Everything is predicated off the running game. So look forward to Tennessee starting to look like Cleveland if that running game doesn't work. You know, Baker will guide you to wins, but you're not going to win because of Baker. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to overcome, deficiencies. If that running game doesn't work and the defense isn't playing, but I mean, hell, they only gave up 15 points, but without the running game, and they had a lot of drops. I don't know if you watched the game. Landry had some drops. Odell, not even trying, I don't think anymore, which is what it is. I mean, I get it. You can't have a receiver that magnitude and then throw him 1-2 balls a game. He needs to be involved early, or else he just checks out, I think. And I don't know. With Henry Ruggs now, they should trade him to the Raiders.
It's not a bad idea, actually. But trade deadline's passed, though. It's over.
He didn't get
traded.
traded
now.
That trade deadline bullshit. They'll figure out a way to trade a few more.
Yeah, just kick someone,
wedge him in there,
and then.
Well, I mean, I guess they can just waive him, and he can get picked up somewhere else too. I mean, that could happen
all the time.
That does happen, actually. So speaking of trades, oh man, let's talk about this Von Miller trade. I mean, my heart is broken. I think he's my favorite, outside of maybe John Elway. My favorite Bronco of all time got traded this week, and my heart couldn't take it, man. I was a little busted up. I do think it was good that we got something for him, but Carlos, your take on that?
Yeah, I think I'm happy for Von to get the hell out of here. He deserves to go somewhere he can, win. That defense, holy cow, is going to be something ridiculous.
It's ungodly.
I don't think Fangio was using him right. He should be rushing the quarterback. He shouldn't be dropping back in pass coverage and stuff. Chubb can't stay healthy, so now you can roll all your double teams and your coverages slide down to your protection slide to Von. So he was kind of hamstrung. So I'm glad he's out of here and going to a place where he can excel. But hey, Derrick, did you hear about this rift in the locker room they were saying?
I was listening to that today.
What are you talking about?
Really interesting shit regarding like a Halloween party or something, right?
Yeah. So apparently Von Miller throws a Halloween bash every year, and this year, for whatever reason, he expected other guys on the team to contribute to the cost. It said it was 6 figures. They had like Quavo from the Migos and all these people, and he was basically wanting people to chip in, and was in a locker room talking shit basically to get people to pay up, including rookies and all this and that. And nobody was paying, so it was causing a rift in the locker room, and they were saying it made it easier to pull the trigger on the trade.
Yeah, this is not bullshit. This is real. If you hadn't heard, so Noah Fant was on earlier today, and I don't know how much you're supposed to talk when you're out of the locker room, but Noah Fant was pretty open about it, saying he backed Von Miller, though, because Von Miller said, hey, I'm canceling my party. It was going to be his party. And so I guess the expectation is he'd pay for it or whatever, because we're not winning. We're not winning. I don't want to throw a party. Screw this. Enough people on the text string were saying, no, we still want to do this. We still want to have a party. He's like, fine, then. This is our party now.
Yeah, pay up.
So it went on, and then what Carlos said, people didn't pay up. Some of the stuff was, I don't know if they just thought he was joking or what, but apparently it was real. He was pissed at some people. I don't know exactly who, or I wasn't there that day, but interesting story.
I bet
you don't think that had anything to do with the trade, though, right?
Well, they said it made it easier for them to trade because he was starting to affect the locker room. He was getting pretty intense in the locker room because people weren't paying him. So it made it easier for them to pull the trigger on the trade.
Yeah, I think it was already in place, but stuff like that happens. It's many layered. I'm just glad we got a second and a third for him. That's kind of crazy value right now.
Right.
What do you guys think of Jerry Jeudy going forward? I had him for a minute, but is he going to get anything going?
Well,
What do you think of Jerry Jeudy, Carlos?
Unfortunately, he needs a quarterback. So,
Why you got to say
You're not streaming him at Flex.
oh, speaking of quarterbacks, how about that? How about that Heineke this weekend, huh, Nate?
Oh, he looked good. He looked amazing.
What a playmaker!
I love that guy.
Yeah, 10 points.
Big fan.
As you should be.
Making the downfield blocks.
Nobody
the
scores against this Denver Bronco defense except for that one team that one time.
All the teams, all the time.
Yeah,
no. Actually, coming into last week, we had the third best scoring defense in the NFL, which is pretty dang good.
Neat.
What?
We played the Giants, the Jets,
okay,
the Jaguars to start the season.
Okay, fine.
Ever since then, we were like bottom 5 of the league. Take off your orange-colored glasses.
Okay, but also our offense sucks so freaking bad, and our defense keeps getting put in bad situations. It's not like we have a bad defense. Our offense sucks. That's the fact.
No, the defense is playing like trash. They're horrible.
Well, but are they playing horrible because they're horrible, or are they playing horrible because the offense is so bad and they know they're just going to lose anyways?
They're playing horrible because they're horrible.
I think we got a lot of talent. I think we got a lot of talent on.
Right,
on that.
A lot of talent.
They do have a lot of talent.
They're not playing for shit.
They're not playing for shit. So what's the answer?
Unless you got 0 wins, right?
Yeah.
They play good against the bad teams. Anybody with a little bit of talent.
True. Well, they're 4-4. I mean, we'll see. So here's my question then. So Vaughn's out. Is it tank time? Is it over for the Broncos this year, or what's going on? What do you think?
Yeah, it's over. They're about to start collecting draft picks and seeing what they can get for who they can get it for. You know, you got a lame duck coach, right? You got Pat Shurmur. I don't know why.
Pat.
Yeah, you just getting what you can get.
So maybe to go a little deeper into Dub's question a minute ago. So, you got Jerry Jeudy, him moving forward. My real question is this. Melvin Gordon and Javonte have been splitting carries almost right down the middle all year. Derrick, moving forward, I guess I'll ask you this question. Do you think that if the Broncos are going to go into tank mode, that they're going to play Javonte more to see what they've got in him, or they're going to save him for next year? What do you think?
I like to think that a team doesn't go into actual tank mode, like trying to lose, but Javonte Williams was my favorite running back coming out of the draft this year, and that includes Najee Harris.
Wow.
He was my favorite. And so I was super stoked when the Broncos traded up in the second round to get him. I got to think he starts to get more play. If he even starts to get a 60-40 split instead of the almost exact 50-50 split, that's going to be enough touches to make him fantasy relevant. It won't make the Broncos relevant, but it'll make Javonte definitely relevant. He's a monster. I love that guy.
No, well, I think there's no question. I mean, there's been some really questionable play calls. I mean, you got a 3rd and 1 and they run a screen pass. I mean, if you can't trust, just hand it off to Javonte. I mean, that's he's going to get you that first down 9 times out of 10.
In the third quarter, Nate, these are Teddy Bridgewater's stats: 4 of 4 for 10 yards. 4 of 4.
And you're blaming the defense.
Super efficient. Super efficient.
We suck, man. I mean, our offense is just so bad. I mean, so whatever. I guess he went 4 of 4. Congratulations. I'd still take Heineke.
Setting records.
I'm still taking Heineke. For the record, still taking him. Let's talk about Derrick Henry being out for a sec. So they say 6 to 10 weeks. I guess there's some outside chance that he could make it back for playoff time. Maybe. I don't think they've shut him down for the year yet. Have you guys heard anything about that? I saw 6 to 10 weeks. You guys see anything else there?
I heard 6 to 10, but he's such a freak in the training room. He might. That's a lot of weight on a foot, man. He's gonna take his time, I imagine. Russell Wilson got the pin removed from his finger today. He's
okay.
almost ready to go. I mean, these athletes come back so fast.
That is true.
Carlos, did we jinx him?
No. Little do you know about the slave foot. The slave foot is the most powerful, durable. It's very similar to a rhinoceros. He'll be back. Don't worry about it. He'll be fine.
We were talking about his workload. I mean, he was on pace for 400 carries.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Dub. We were
He's also on pace to shatter every yardage record. And
Los, I think we jinxed him. Didn't you and I last week talk about how his running style doesn't leave him prone to injury because it's more straight ahead? I'm pretty sure you and I talked about that.
We did. But the thing is,
it's our fault, guys.
Sorry. It's not a knee. It's not a, you know what I mean? It's not a, like a hamstring or something like that, right? It's. I mean, hell, the guy played the rest of the game with the foot, right?
Yeah. What the hell was that?
Strong.
It's the slave, man. I'm telling you. Listen, slavery is getting closer and closer to Black History Month. You know.
Oh, you're going to start hulking up on us come February, aren't you? Oh dear.
I guess February. Kwanzaa's around the corner. You know. He'll be fine. Just like Russell Wilson got the pin taken out. He took it out himself because his black side was coming out on him. This is what we do. Okay. We'll be just fine. We'll see Derrick.
Oh dear heavenly host. Well,
Carlos,
does
Ryan Tannehill turn into anything?
Well,
does it tank him or make him better because he has to throw? What do you think?
He's got a lot of targets.
I think he's gonna. I got faith in Ryan Tannehill. I think he's gonna be okay. I think if Julio Jones can keep his black ass healthy, I think that'll be the key. Because AJ Brown is unstoppable. Right? That guy.
Is there not such a thing as slave hamstring or?
No. Oh. He's got too much money now. That's his problem. Yeah. That's his problem.
So do you guys go after Jeremy McNichols or do you try to get Adrian Peterson? Is he worth a start? Either of those guys?
I hear they're going to go running back by committee. I don't know who else they got coming in.
Well, Adrian Peterson, your best friend.
I heard.
AP all day.
Another great slave. That's why he's still running hard. Child support is real. And, he still got something in the tank because he's got young babies and child support is expensive. So
switches are expensive.
What was the name of that Broncos running back that played for us just for a hot minute that had all of those wives and kids?
Derrick Henry.
Terrell Davis.
Yeah.
No, Henry. No, Travis Henry? What was it?
Travis Henry. There you go.
Travis Henry. That's it. Yes. Oh.
Damn,
they got to go down to me. Fantastic.
9 kids, 9 different baby mamas. Didn't he get popped for like cocaine in North Dakota or something crazy?
Isn't that Jason Kidd also? Jason Kidd. I saw the coach, Coach Kidd.
Oh man!
Did the Braves win?
Sean Kemp decided to start running the football in the NFL now because he needs a little extra dough. Jeez, dude. So
Seattle, the Seahawks need something.
So here's my question back to Tannehill real quick though. Like, you figure whenever you're going to go play the Tennessee Titans, you're going to scheme 80% of your defensive scheme is how do we put a lid on this guy a little bit. So, who did Tennessee play again this week?
Colts.
So you figure the Colts, their entire game plan was set up to stop Derrick Henry. All of a sudden, Henry's not there. Tannehill looks pretty good. Well, not to mention A.J. Brown is amazing, so I'll just leave it at that. A.J. Brown's one of my favorite receivers in the game. I love him. But next week, what's the game plan going to be against Tennessee? I mean, they're gonna get after Tannehill like crazy. They don't have a run game.
Sacks and, yeah.
I don't think it's good for Tannehill at all. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback, but he's about to see what he hasn't seen the entire time he's been in Tennessee. Do you guys disagree?
I don't think they're going to change the offense much initially. They're going to see what Adrian Peterson. It's funny enough, for running style, Adrian Peterson's probably the closest for pure style as you could get. So they don't really change the
game
plan. You just, but who knows? I don't think he does, but he was just in the league last year. It's not like they
he's not
pulled him out of retirement or anything. He's
like Phillip Rivers,
and
going
he
to the
is a
Saints.
freak. He is a freak. So if anybody can come in and be effective, but man, their long-term like Super Bowl kind of hopes, I think, are done. But they're still going to be a good team.
So Boise State, Jeremy McNichols. I don't know if I had an empty running back slot.
He's a big dude, man. McNichols is yoked. That's for sure.
This might be his opportunity. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. Well, so Derrick, with all that being said, would you sign AP as maybe a low-end flex option on your team?
I mean, it depends. If you really, really need somebody, you go for the potential. But I kind of like McNichols better as far as an upside play because we don't know. He could totally Arian Foster this thing. Remember, Arian Foster kind of came in. He was, a third, fourth round pick, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't supposed to be as good as he was. And then, just dominated when he got his chance.
Yeah.
Like McNichols is a big boy. We can see if he can keep it going.
That's true.
You guys think Ingram makes any difference on the Saints? And did you guys hear Phillip Rivers?
I think
might get a phone call for the Saints. He tweeted, "I haven't heard from the Saints, but I might be willing to."
What, really?
Yeah, that's the Twitter.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, his old bones, man. I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong, Trevor Siemian, that's rough. Super, super rough. But when's the kid from BYU supposed to be back?
Mike White?
No.
Back up? Mike White's back up? Or no, Taysom Hill, you mean?
Taysom,
Sorry, I'm jumping to the Jets.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's got a concussion, man. So whatever.
So it's going to be Siemian for a couple weeks, I guess. Ugh. That's rough. Hey, Derrick, Trevor Siemian or Drew Lock?
That didn't taste good.
So she said,
I don't know. Just shoot me if either of those guys is my long-term quarterback. I don't know. Trevor Siemian right now. Drew Lock's got the cannon. He's got the talent, but he doesn't have the mind yet. I don't know if he'll ever develop it. I really hope he does, but I'm not optimistic. So give me Trevor Siemian right now.
Hey, do you guys want to fight over Jameis Winston right now? And you still betting the over there, Derrick? What's happening there?
The game's still happening. Don't worry about it. If there wasn't an act of God, I can't be held responsible for avalanche, lightning strike, or Devin White.
Collars.
Those things.
White.
PETA protests that name. Did you guys hear about that?
I didn't say he'd be good. I didn't say they'd win. I just said he'd have over 244 yards passing, which he was totally going to do. And
did Vegas have an over-under on dancing with a fog machine all over social media?
On 7.5. 7.5. Anything you want to say about Jameis Winston, Carlos?
I don't want to discuss the dead. He sucks. That's
All right. Carlos, question for you. So you've got Geno Smith, Mike White, Cooper Rush, and Trevor Siemian. If you have to stream a quarterback for 1 week, which one of those guys you take?
So AIDS, chlamydia, gonorrhea.
Or Cooper Rush, yeah. Take the ginger sensation that's sweeping the nation, man. The Cowboys are number one.
Yeah, give me a Cooper Rush because of the weapons around him.
Okay. I got it. Derrick?
Samesies. Oh, that's not
if he's playing, is Dak out another week? Do we know that yet, or
probably not?
Well, they're playing the Broncos, so he can take another.
Oh, won't matter.
Yeah, let's let him rest.
Yeah, you're right. He can take another week
off. A little rough. But I'm just saying, like, if that's what happens, which one of those guys you like moving forward? You like Cooper Rush?
I would like. Sorry, we had
Mike White,
Geno Smith, Mike White, Cooper Rush, and Trevor Siemian.
Yeah, Cooper Rush. Okay. Weapons make a big difference.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to argue what Mike White did, though. I mean, he went against a pretty dang good Bengals team which we were just talking about last week on how good the Bengals
we
were.
jinxed them as well.
Yeah, what's up? Exactly. So Mike White goes
gaining power. It's good.
So
we're making influence.
Listen to the stat line for Mike White here. Guy goes 37 for 45, 405 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 10 different players with a catch. It would have been a couple more than that too, but he got hurt and came back in. I mean, is this another one of these, like, is he going to push for the starting job here, or is it over?
Yeah, is there a controversy in New York?
If you're the Jets coach, do you say, hey, we're just going to roll with White here until he looks bad?
Well, the Jets rookie is out for a while, isn't he? He had a pretty serious injury.
He's out for at least a few more weeks.
Yeah.
Zach Attack.
Why don't get his chance?
Yeah, but if Zach Wilson comes back and he's healthy, he's ready to go, do you just put him right in, or do you just keep rolling with White if he's playing well?
He was a first-round quarterback. You got to stick with your first-round quarterback.
Yeah. He was the second pick in the draft quarterback. They'll give it back to him. I mean,
he made that throw at the combine, remember?
Yeah, that one throw, that one time. Wow. That's his second pick in the draft throw.
It was good.
He's also highly favored of the Lord. Yea, verily.
Is he? Mike White?
Well, it's BYU.
No,
he's talking
Zach.
No, Zach Wilson.
Zach and Taysom, man.
I don't know anything about Mike White. I don't even know where he's from at all. But I don't know. I mean, guys threw for 400 yards. I'd throw him in there again to see what happens. I mean, he's got decent weapons around him. He does. I mean, Michael Carter, 15 rushes, 77 yards, a touchdown, and he caught 9 balls for 95 yards. So, I mean, he got a lot of touches and to kind of expose that Bengals defense there a little bit, I thought.
Cooper Rush is going against the Broncos defense with no Von Miller, no pass rush to speak for.
Tank job in the making.
Exactly.
Mike White this week is on the road on Thursday night at the Colts. Pass on Mike White.
Yeah. Colts will bounce back.
Pass.
Hard pass.
All right. Passing.
With that being said, I have now guaranteed that he'll get 420 yards and 5 touchdowns.
That is true. Well, speaking of ridiculous numbers, I don't know how we haven't on this podcast talked about Cooper Kupp yet. But I'm just going to run through these numbers. Obviously, they're insane, but so let's just talk about them real quick. So, on the year, he has 63 catches. The only person with more is Hill, who's got 64 catches. He's averaging over 9 catches per game. He's also got 924 yards receiving, which is 100 more than Debo. He's averaging 132 yards a game through the air. He has 10 touchdowns for the year, which is 2 more than Mike Evans, who has 8 on the year receiving. He's averaging 1.42 touchdowns a game, almost a touchdown and a half a game. So obviously he's on pace for incredible numbers because you have the extra game in this year. So he is on pace for 153 catches. The NFL record for catches in a season is Michael Thomas a couple years ago, who got 149. So he's on pace to beat that. He's also on pace for 2,244 receiving yards. And then anybody want to guess who holds the record for most receiving yards in a season?
Calvin Johnson, 1967.
Flipper Anderson.
Isn't that dead on?
That was impressive. 1964.
Fuck.
1964. That's really impressive, man. Yeah, so pacing 2244. And then he is pacing 24 touchdowns. Derrick, let's go back to you again. You're the
Jameis.
No.
Oh, Randy Moss.
Randy Moss with how many
24.
touchdowns? 23. 23.
And no Super Bowl. Sorry,
really,
Randy.
That's seriously impressive, man. That's dang good. You're an encyclopedia, man. But, I mean, obviously.
Not bad for a 6'2" white guy.
Dude, I mean, Carlos.
He'll be hurt.
He's white.
No slight.
Cooper Kupp never finishes a whole season. He'll be hurt within the next 2-3 games. You heard it here first. It's all nice and lovely. He'll be hurt soon.
Well,
his Kupp run.
Everybody's getting hurt this year. I mean, everybody.
Cooper Kupp gets hurt. Cooper Kupp gets hurt every year. He gets hurt every year.
That is pretty true.
He does. He's
the new Jordy
Plus,
Nelson.
now that we're talking about him, maybe he will.
He's the new Jordy Nelson, which Jordy was a bad white boy too.
Yeah.
But
and he has great quarterback throwing to him. Good for Stafford. That's neat.
Yeah,
Kupp was putting up numbers with Goff, but he just gets hurt.
Yeah.
If he ever completes a whole season, he was set some historical numbers, but he'll be hurt soon. Don't worry about it.
What makes him so good, Carlos? What do you see out of Kupp that makes him so good? Because when you got a guy getting that many catches and touchdowns, the defense has got to be zeroing in on him. What's making him so good?
It's the black arrogance of the DBs, right? You see a white boy who you're not afraid of his speed, right?
You're not serious, are you?
I'm telling you what it is.
I think that's.
I'm telling you what it is. The same thing with Adam Thielen, right? You're not afraid of their speed, right? They're not going to beat you deep. So you start slacking off. You're not paying attention. Next thing you know, the guy just put up 2 touchdowns and 150 yards on you. His routes are incredible. The scheme is Sean McVay is incredible, right?
He is.
And the kid is great, but these DBs, as
teams are passing more than ever. There's an extra game.
You see a white guy in front of you, you take it for granted, right? And
that's why Luka's so good, right?
Christian McCaffrey, right? These guys, you're like, what the hell, right? But this guy's running by your black ass, and you're like, oh, oopsies. You know what I mean? It's the same. It's the same type of deal.
They're all try-hard guys, locker room guys,
high
football IQ. That's what Carlos is trying to say.
Yeah,
white normal white receiver thing.
So. White guy.
Oh my hell, dude!
First guy in, last guy to leave.
Right.
Rudy, great teammate.
Rudy.
Yeah. He's a white
heart.
Guy.
it's what it is. It's his heart.
We're the black guys. We're out doing. We're organizing Halloween parties. Not paying you.
And what are those
and getting DUIs
parties? You guys.
Getting DUIs. We're killing people. It's fucking retarded.
Oh man. Well, let's talk about some sad things. I don't want to talk about sad things, but let's talk about some sad things, man. We got to touch on it. So Calvin Ridley mails it in, right?
Take care of your mentals. Take care of your bread. You listen to Marshawn Lynch.
Chickens.
Yeah.
Take care of your chickens.
Take care of your chicken.
And your mentals, though. That was on the list, yeah.
No, I don't know if you guys follow the NFL on social media. Hello, dog. But they've posted a ton about mental health and mental health awareness and things like that. We are seeing so much of that right now, just in general. It just seems like we have a whole generation of people. Yeah, Simone Biles, there's another one, right? Just like we're seeing a whole generation of people really suffering from this, and we're finally talking about it, which is awesome that we're finally talking about it and bringing it up. But all of us come from that generation where you just rub dirt on it. Nobody cared if you were sad. Carlos, did your dad care if you were sad ever once?
After World War I, they just sucked it up.
I think my dad whooped my ass. I was sad once. Since last time I was sad.
I'll give you something to be sad about.
Dude, I know, right? I know. But, maybe I'm just old school, but in some ways, I think that served us well, right? It's like, listen, just stop thinking about being sad. You take all that pain, you take all that frustration, and you bury it deep down. Deep down, you bury it in there, right?
Until it explodes on your ex-wife. That's how it works. That's how us
changing lanes
men do it.
Yeah, for real.
Be a man.
Too. Be a man. Be a man.
All your problems. Be a man.
Any thoughts on that, Dub? Any thoughts on that with Ridley and mental health and all that stuff?
Good for him. Money, he probably made enough if he was smart to be fine. Maybe not.
He's still on
nothing's
his
more.
Deal. I think this is a big deal for him. I don't know that he's gotten his big paycheck yet. Which is even more kudos to him. If you know what's going on, like that's all any of us ever want in life, is to know what makes us tick so we can deal with it best. Most people never really get to that point where they can be comfortable with how they operate. And for him to have got to a point in his position to be able to step up and say, hey, I need help, or I need to do whatever it is he needs to do. I don't know. It's kudos to him. And I don't have any idea. Do you know anything about what it is? Are we sure it is mental stuff, or is it family stuff? Or
no, he did say that.
He did.
Yeah.
Well, good on him. That's actually very impressive. And I, wish I could, be that self-aware sometimes.
Carlos, any thoughts on all that?
Yeah, better him just calling the shot versus turn into Josh Gordon, and going that route. So
I'm fine, man.
More power to the brother. I hope he gets back well and everything. But at the end of the day, I just want to see Negroes jumping high in the air and
don't you dare bring that up! Don't you dare, Carlos Jones!
I gotta bring it up.
Damn it, Jones!
That's the problem with knowing these people.
Oh, they got history on me, man.
Oh man!
How did nobody have video of that?
Let's not.
We lived in better times when everything wasn't videotaped. You could speak your mind.
If Bobby Man, if you're listening to this podcast, screw you, Bobby Man. I hate you. Just kidding. I love Bobby Man. He's one of my best buddies ever.
I had to handle so much shit for you. Your boy Nate's a racist. Nate Wallace, what are you talking about? You see his flyer? Yeah, I saw it. I thought it was hilarious.
I'm sorry.
Jokes aren't racist.
And it was a joke. People like the joke. Turns out.
Black athletes.
I think it's better to seek mental health than to down a bunch of liquor and drive your Corvette.
Oh, speaking
That's
of
my
that.
message.
Big time.
Make a wise decision. Don't drink and drive. Seek a gambling hotline if you're losing the bets. If you're losing your Jameis Winston bets, don't sell your house. Seek help. Don't drink and drive. Take care of yourself. Marshawn Lynch said it best.
I mean, what a promising young athlete. And
the Raiders are cursed. You heard that here. The Raiders are cursed.
They are cursed.
Bo Jackson ruptures his hip playing the Bungles.
Was
that much money? You're not going to be out drinking. You should have every tool at your disposal, so you don't have to get behind the wheel.
Hire a driver. Hire your uncle to be a driver. Hire your best friend from high school, something.
Dude, the NFL now in their rookie symposium, actually have been doing it for years. Pretty much every team, I think, now has like a hotline where there's no question that it's not even calling an Uber. They have like things in place for this stupid situation. Hey, they'll come to you. They'll drive your car back to your house for you, so you don't have to leave your car there. I mean, there's literally no fucking excuse for something like that.
Plus, it was in Vegas. Like, you don't need to drive to get very far in Vegas.
I'm angry about that. Not
sad.
Because of missing out on a football player. He killed somebody, and it's sick. I'm really upset about that one. But
it's totally avoidable.
Totally.
Yeah, there's too many things in place for those guys to stay out of trouble. So it's I don't feel bad for them. I feel bad for the families. But it's ridiculous.
Ugh, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Like you guys said, there's absolutely zero reason. They do have protocols in place for this. I mean, he has zero reason to get in his car and drive, ever in that situation, ever. I mean, being a Nuggets fan, Ty Lawson, I think he got arrested for DUI at least twice. And all you had to do is pick up the phone and call someone. I mean, call an Uber, call a friend. Don't drive. I don't understand how.
Or drink water and wait 2 hours, Just be smart.
It makes zero sense.
You got yes men all around you. You got homies pushing you forward. You got friends saying it's fine. Shit sucks.
Ugh, so sad. It's so sad. Dub, was there anything else you wanted to talk about on the podcast here today? I know you brought up a couple things earlier. Did we touch on them?
Just it's funny how OBJ has his dad and LeBron James tweet. I was disappointed by the trade deadline. The NBA trade deadline is so fun.
Yeah.
These big pieces get moved around.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. 4:00 today. Nothing. I thought Deshaun Watson was going to go get his, brownie rubbed in Miami, and I thought a lot of fun was going to happen, but just injuries. Nothing happened.
Did you say brownie?
What?
Did you say
brown eye? No, I don't know. It's crazy. The NFL's the best because of parity. The Bucks lost. Everyone was tired of them winning. The Saints somehow win.
Yeah.
Packers, I don't know. We shouldn't talk about last week, like we said. I don't know who moving forward to get. I'm glad Lamar's back. Football is such a fun distraction. It was good to talk about mental health and drinking and driving, but let's get back to, what we want. Black athletes jumping high and running fast and catching the ball.
It is the greatest. Speaking of black athletes that I think are amazing, Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb looked so damn good. And by the way, Dub, you escaped by the skin of your teeth on that win, because that ball that Amari Cooper caught in the fourth quarter should absolutely have been picked off. I mean, it bounced right out of that guy's hands, right into Amari's hands, and set him up.
He did Julio Jones one better. So
that's what I was going to say. Which is better, the Julio Jones off the helmet or the Amari Cooper out of the guy's chest?
Oh,
Dez caught it.
Dez did catch the ball. I will give you that. I will give you that. So one thing, I was looking at some interesting stats and some interesting things. And we talked about Jalen Hurts last week, Carlos. You went off on Jalen Hurts so bad. But their rushing game against the Lions looked spectacular. So I'm going to give you hold on. I'm going to give you the stats, and then I just want you to say what you're going to say about it, right? So the Eagles win 44-6 against the Lions. Jalen Hurts rushes 7 times for 71 yards. Boston Scott rushes 12 times for 60 yards and 2 touchdowns. The ghost of Jordan Howard rushes
That's a name
12
I haven't
times.
heard in 4 years.
The ghost of Jordan Howard rushes 12 times for 57 yards and 2 TDs. And Ken Gainwell rushes 13 times for only 27 yards. But 236 yards for 4 touchdowns on the ground, just absolutely destroy the Lions on the ground. So here's my question.
Ran the ball 3 times against Dallas.
Yes.
3.
Yes. Yeah.
3.
So here's my question then. We know the Lions are terrible. We know this, right? We know they're terrible. But once again, are they the best 0-7 team we've seen in a long time? Might be, right? But maybe not after last week. Yeah, not after last week. But here's my question. Miles Sanders is supposed to be an absolute unit of a back.
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't done crap all year. And then he gets hurt, goes on IR, and all of a sudden the Eagles become the best running team somehow in the NFL. Is that Miles Sanders being overrated or the Lions being that bad?
Last week, Miles Sanders had 5 carries for 30 yards on like the first drive, and right before he got hurt. So they were on track to kind of try and flip the script with their offense. Last week, Miles Sanders got hurt. I think he would have had the game of his life against Detroit. Detroit's run defense is really one of the worst I've seen. And their coach now cries too much. I had really liked him at first because he was just really in it for his guys. It felt like he had emotion, but you can't cry every week. You're not Carlos.
So the coach of the Lions would be someone who cried every week, though.
He's got reason to cry.
If there's going to be anyone. If you have a Steeler.
You live in Detroit. You live in Detroit. Let's just start right there. It's the worst place in America. All right, sorry, Detroit, you're the worst.
Yeah, well, I bet
Cleveland.
when the Broncos play the Lions, it still comes down to the fourth quarter because the Broncos are trash.
Oh, here we go. Jones, is it Miles Sanders not being good or the Lions being trash? Which one is it?
No, Miles Sanders is really good. They didn't try to run the ball at all this year. I don't know if you
At
watched
all?
the Eagles games. Yeah, you get like 2-3 carries a game. Yeah, it's a schematic issue. Miles Sanders is legit. The Eagles are just a train wreck. They're horrible. Have I talked to you about Jalen Hurts?
You have.
The black Tim Tebow. That guy. The guy's awful.
But if you want to laugh too, you have to Google who is their head coach. Sirianni.
Yes.
You have to Google Sirianni. Talks about how his team is like a flower. Just go. That was his last press conference. I'm sure he had an awesome interview with ownership, but holy cow, this guy does not seem like a leader of men type to me. Like, it's really hard to watch.
It's a lot of flowers and a lot of tears for a man's game, right?
Yeah.
Holy cow. Well, anything else you guys want to bring up before we close it up?
Braves won the World Series.
Oh, they won.
Go sports. Yay, sports.
Yay, sports. That's awesome.
Hey, Nate, any smoke to this fire about Dame Lillard going to Philadelphia 76ers?
Absolutely not. He actually was just quoted as saying, "I am 10 toes in to the Blazers." I think I mentioned this before, but Dame Lillard is absolutely one of my absolute favorite NBA players because he's staying. I don't think he wants to go anywhere. I mean, if he gets traded, he gets traded. But I mean, if you're the Blazers, unless you want to be the worst team in the West, you don't ever move Dame Lillard. I get that you're not getting out of the first round. I get that it's been tough, but you got to move other pieces. You do not ever move Dame Lillard, period.
Dame sells sneakers. He sells rap albums. He hits it from the logo. He's Dame Dollar all day. You know what time it is. He's not going anywhere.
No, absolutely. Did you really hear smoke about that, Los?
Yeah, they're talking about today because I guess
Simmons.
Was it last night when they played in Philadelphia? How much the crowd was loving him, even though he had a tough game, and cheering for him because they want
Dame. We want Dame, yeah.
Right. Yeah, right. They're talking about giving up Simmons and
Philly fans are the worst.
It's smoke and mirrors, bro. First of all, just here's your take on Jalen Hurts and Jameis Winston. Let me explain my take on Ben Simmons. He sucks. He's terrible. He's awful. He's one of the most pathetic NBA players I've ever seen. Period. End of story. Listen, this guy.
Real quick counter argument though. If it was 1988,
fine.
There you go. We found a spot. We found the right team for Ben Simmons.
But here's the thing too. If it was 1988, Bill Laimbeer would have knocked his block off, and he never would have come into the lane ever again. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, he gets to play in this league where you can't put your hands on the guy. He's super athletic, and he's 6'10". Don't get me wrong. Like, I think Giannis is incredible, but everyone thinks that Giannis deserves to be put in the top, 2 or 3 players in the NBA. He's not. He barely hits my top 10 because in my game, in my head, you have to have basketball
in his old head
skills to be, the top player. Now, because he's so big,
is right up the street.
What's that?
I said the WNBA is right up the street. Like,
oh man, I mean,
let's watch all those fundamentals. Well,
listen, I mean, the thing is, the guy can't shoot. I mean, Ben Simmons is even worse. He can't shoot free throws. His handle, his dribbling is poor. I mean, it's poor. I mean, there's a reason why.
Giannis?
Yes.
Yeah, are we talking Giannis or Ben?
Giannis. No, Ben Simmons actually has a pretty decent handle.
But point guard.
No.
You usually don't lose me on basketball takes, but to say Giannis is,
bro, listen,
he's a force. He's a dominant, difference-making force.
You know how we argue about like Taylor Heineke and Teddy Two Gloves and all that kind of stuff? Just listen to me right now. Right? Giannis does not have a good handle. He doesn't. He is not a good passer. He doesn't have a good handle. He can't shoot the ball. But he is an absolute athletic freak of nature. He takes the biggest steps. He's got the biggest hands. He can dunk literally on anybody. And he's getting better at those other things. He's getting better at those things. Whereas Ben Simmons,
he made himself that. He wasn't like that when he first came in the league. He developed
he wasn't
his
built
body
like that either.
He wasn't built like that either. But Ben Simmons has literally stopped progressing. He has stopped progressing. Well,
should we tangent that? Is that mental health, or is it his island lifestyle, or is he just quit on his team?
He's an island boy. Have you seen that stupid video? Holy crap. But no, I mean, but I would never, ever bet that Giannis is not going to become a better shooter. I would never bet that Giannis is going to become a better handler or a better passer. I would never bet against Giannis ever. So he's firmly 6 or 7 in my top 10.
Hold on. Giannis is like 7 feet tall, right? Who's looking for Giannis to handle the ball?
He
does handle the ball.
Lane a lot.
He handles the ball all the time. He handles the ball.
He does his one-man fast breaks, which is incredible. But I'm not looking for him to, have handles and be dishing.
I don't quite get your Giannis take.
I'm looking for him to start.
I saw it 2 years ago in the playoffs. He got caught up dribbling to the right too much and got stuck a lot.
But Kevin Durant is the same height.
They're both overrated. Nate Wallace,
and he does all of those things incredibly well.
You have 2 totally different games. That's not two totally different games.
What I'm trying to say, though, is that Kevin Durant is a much more skilled player, and that's why Kevin Durant is number 1 in the NBA, period, end of story. I think he's the best basketball player in the league because of his skills. We're talking about skill gaps here. That's all I'm talking about. But don't get me wrong.
Just talking pure skill set. Yeah. I mean, as far as being an effective NBA player, holy shit.
No, of course he's incredible. That's why he's still top 10.
Top few.
Giannis sent KD home last year.
Well, kind of.
I mean,
KD was hurt, and Harden was fat and hurt, and Kyrie is Kyrie Irving.
Poor Harden with his no foul shots.
I mean, I don't think they had a chance if everybody was healthy on that team. I just don't.
Well, I don't know about if this and that. All I know is what happened. What happened is KD got his skin.
What happened was
Jinx, you're dead.
He got his ass on the court, and Giannis did what Giannis does and dominated.
Yeah, he did. Okay? He did.
And skill set or no skill set, I think he's got all the skills in the world for his position, for his size, he's asked to do. And I think he's right now he's probably top 3 in the league.
See, I just don't put him. I don't put him in my top 5. I think he's 6 or 7 in my book.
Who's your top 5, Nathan?
Are you ready?
Durant,
Jokic, LeBron, Jokic. Top 5.
Got it.
Jokic, you did call it. Steph Curry. Actually, I put Steph 3, Jokic 4, Harden 5.
Harden fell off. I'm so glad. The Harden rule is a good rule.
I'm going to have to maybe move Harden out and maybe Giannis in my top 5, just because this rule, which, by the way, have you guys watched much NBA basketball this year at all?
Yeah,
I was watching it tonight.
I've been watching it in Carlos.
Yeah, it is the single greatest game ever now. I absolutely love this new rule. I mean, it prevents these guys from creating contact and getting rewarded for creating contact. I'm a huge fan, and on top of that, I think most of the players are loving it outside of the Trey Youngs and the James Harden.
Donovan Mitchell a little.
I think everybody has kind of used it a little bit. I mean, even Chris Paul is a master at creating contact and getting up there. But I think it's made the game so much more pure. I'm absolutely loving it. And on top of that, they're letting a lot of contact go. And there's been a few games where I've been like, dude, is this the 90s? Like, there's been a couple really, really physical play that they're just letting go, and I am all for it. I'm a big, big, big fan. I don't know about you guys.
Well, love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 90s basketball was the best. Jordan will always be the best ever. And the ticky-tack foul bullshit.
Yep.
So glad that's out of there.
End of an era.
Yeah. No, I'm a big, big fan, and I think as long as they continue on that, and they don't, I think throughout the year, they're going to start calling a few more of those things. But I think that if this can represent a change, I think it really, really, really helps basketball because there for a while, it's unwatchable. I mean, some of those games with like Harden, it is, if you're watching Harden just create and go to the line, who wants to see James Harden shoot 19 free throws? Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad TV.
It's bad business.
All right, fellas. Well, let's wrap it up for tonight.
All right, buddy.
Hey, real quick, I want to share something on my screen here real quick before we leave. Give me one sec. And just want to dedicate this episode to Wyatt's mom, Nancy, who passed away this week. God be with you till we meet again. And Dub, one of my favorite things that you ever say is no one ever really dies. Absolutely.
Yeah, stole that from the Neptunes, Pharrell Williams.
Yeah, absolutely
Nerd.
love that, man. Well, our hearts go out to you, my friend. And
thanks, guys. Sports are a good distraction, the way it should be.
all right, man. Well, we're
Car
going to head.
crashes.
Thank you, guys.
and
No, thank you very
mental
much,
health
man.
aside.
Thanks, guys. All right. We're going to sign off here. Sexiest Men Alive podcast. Like, favorite, subscribe. See you next week.